I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Can't believe today is the day where I've learned something horrible. I can't believe it. Like, I can't believe it's. I just. For anyone who doesn't know the context, you'll learn shortly. It's fine. I'll explain. But like, I can't believe. Like, I'm sure someone pointed it out. I'm sure someone pointed it out beforehand. I am sure somebody did point it out beforehand. Like, but like, I made multiple DPS Charlotte videos, and I don't recall seeing a comment that pointed it out. Or maybe they did and I just ignored it, or maybe the comment showed up too late because I tend to look at my comments mostly on the first day or first couple of days of a video being posted, and then I ignore them after that for my own sanity. So like, what's the truth bomb? Let's see it. Let's cheat. No, try again. That one I understood. Hard hitting explosives. Yeah. Say cheese. Yeah. I don't want you to die. Don't stop it. Stop. I couldn't switch my character. Why couldn't I switch? Okay, whatever. Hold please. Hold please. Oh look. Oh, that bone. Please. Okay. You run away. Sorry. I instinctively when I see a boar, I must take a picture of it and shoot it fictionally. Okay. Dang it. Breaking news. Yeah, I know I could go into the voice lines, by the way. I know. The game's trolling me a little bit. Wait, I'm stupid. What are we doing? We can go to Abyss. Stygian Onslaught has broke me. I'm just used to never having energy anymore. I forgot that in Abyss you start with energy. Oops. Oh no, Sylveon leveling Arlecchino. All for the weapon skins. You know, Sylveon, it doesn't necessarily ensure that you're going to be able to get the weapon skins in the future. Oh. Anyways. Alright. Do the voice line, please. My gosh. The real truth bomb is that there's RNG in everything, even the voice line. No. Oh my god. I just want to demonstrate how distraught I am. I like your other voice lines, but like, we need to show the one that has shattered my reality. The reality I can't go back to. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Come on. What's the sudden realization? Oh. Please, Charlotte. Like, see, Charlotte's just acknowledging that I don't want to return. See, she's trying to comfort me. She's like, I know I've given you some bad news. I know I've given you some bad news, but like, it's fine. We can go back. I can just never use the voice line again, and that solves the problem. And she's not wrong. That does. I know I can go to the voice lines tab. I want to demonstrate it in practice. Shupa! Like, that's not Shupa. It's not Shupa. It sounds like Shupa to me every time in combat. Whenever I'm doing combat, it sounds like Shupa. Like, oh, come on, one more time. Yeah, that's the truth bomb. Shupa! That's not... Like, to be clear, and this is why I did it in combat, because that's not the wrong page. Like, if I go here, yes, if I go here,
hard-hitting breaking news, truth bomb.
Yeah, it sounds like truth bomb, but like the I hear Shupa in combat. I still hear Shupa in combat. I want to go back to the reality where it was only Shupa. Okay. I want to go back to Shupa. How dare
Truth bomb.
Like that sounds like truth bomb in the voice screen. Like, I can't tell if you're saying Shupa. I was for Charlotte on purpose, or if you actually don't know what she says. No, I didn't. I never went to her voice lines manually. I always heard Shupa. Like, Truth Bomb makes sense. She's a journalist. It's fitting. I would probably like Truth Bomb, and if I had heard Truth Bomb the first time, and I would probably be saying Truth Bomb, not Shupa. But now that I've said Shupa for like over a year, whenever I use this character, and like it's a like I don't know how to express enough how much this is like. Also, YouTube, do you have to shove shorts in my face so much? I mean, I love Gianmarco, but like, you don't need to shove shorts in my face like this. Anyways, sorry. Like, I'm distraught, right? Because like, as dumb as it is, it's like one of the things I like about the character, and you know, I don't use Charlotte that often, so it's like always a nice treat to use Charlotte, and then she goes Shupa, and I can go Shupa with her, and like, I know it's stupid, but like I do really want the reality back where I didn't learn this. I know, like, I wasn't even planning to stream today. I actively chose to stream. To be clear, we'll go do other things. I only have 2 hours, by the way, because D&D in 2 hours. But like, we didn't really oversleep. I didn't go to sleep until like 9 a.m. But you know, anyways, Shupa feels like something a journalist would say. I mean, no, I mean, Truth Bomb is a fitting voice line. It doesn't have a problem. It didn't make him crash out to something at you. Yeah, everyone's crashing out on like how difficult Stygian Onslaught is. Meanwhile, I'm crashing out over the fact that Truth Bomb is Truth Bomb and not Stygian Onslaught. I just Bone Apple tea moment. Yeah, but like, it's distressing. Like, it's okay, it's fine. What a reality we live in.
Breaking news! Hard-hitting exclusive!
Ooh, this looks all right. I wish I could interview whoever left this stuff here. I doubt anyone's still looking for these.
Hold that pose! Smile! Say cheese! Truth bomb!
Like, it makes sense. It's fine. But I want Shupa back. But she does. You're not going insane. I know. Like, I still hear Shupa in combat. Like I hear Truth Bomb when I click the voice line, and like it's playing the same audio file. Oops, I didn't show you the thing. Wait. What the heck? I know. Oh, come on. Like, there's not even that much background music here. It's just like other sound effects and whatever. Shupa! Like, the other sound effects going on muffled the initial phoneme, the t, right? because like it's not a very the voice actor says the t, right, the tr, the t r. Oh, sorry, we're doing a little bit of phonetics now. T r u th, right? There's 4 phonemes there, right? And there's nothing wrong with how she says it. There's nothing wrong with how she says it, right?
Smile. Truth bomb.
T r u th, right? And then bomb, like bomb being turned into pa in my brain. I don't know, right? Like I want to go talk to my linguistics professor and be like, specifically my phonetics professor, and we want to be like, I want you to break this down with me. You help me understand. Like, I understand the initial part because there's other sound effects happening. The brain interprets what it does, right? Like I hear shupa, and that's fine because the t, right?
Truth bomb.
Truth bomb. Like the voice actor says it's in a way where she's de-stressing the t, the d, tr, and then stressing the ooth.
Truth bomb.
Truth bomb, right? Truth bomb. And like that stressing of the ooth, particularly of the ooh, is what like make my brain hear shoo. Apparently, like I just someone sent this clip to Charlotte's VA. Yeah, like I hear shoo, and then pa, and then the bomb, b versus p. Like yeah, like it makes sense. Like so the stressed ooh, and not hearing the like my brain just didn't interpret the t r because there's too many sound effects going on in combat. I still hear shoo pa, like I still hear it. And then the bomb is like b versus p, the b versus p phonemes. Like I'm stressing those phonemes right now. B p, so they sound different. But like if I say the bomb defusal squad versus the palm defusal squad, and like you're saying that fast, and there's other noises going on at the same time. Like when if I say palm defusal squad, you probably you probably hesitate for a second to be like, huh, what did he say? But then you're like, oh, he just meant bomb, and like it's fine, right? Like but like a reverse happened there. We're like where she says bomb, and my brain heard pa, and like I don't know. Anyways, yeah, I'm crashing out. It's like Farina's Let the World Collide. I need context, Lisa. What do you mean?
Truth bomb.
It sounds like Truth Bomb here. But it's Shupa in combat, I swear. Where's Farina? Yeah, wait. She doesn't say let the worlds collide, it's let the world come alive? Oh. To be honest,
Yoo-hoo! The show begins! Hope may I present Let the World Come Alive! Time to shine!
I'll be honest.
My name, Eka, let the world
As much as I hear Farina's burst, and would recognize this immediately as a Farina burst line, I wouldn't have been able to tell you if you're like, hey, what do you remember Farina's burst lines as? I wouldn't have been able to tell you like, I remember it specifically as this to know whether or not it's not Worlds Collide.
Let the world come alive!
But I can see why here, I guess I can see why you'd say it's Worlds Collide. Yeah, I don't know. I could easily have been like someone easily could have convinced me that it was Collide, not Come Alive. I never was like consciously thinking about it before, or like trying to resonate with it because I don't normally. I mean, if you watch my videos, you probably know I don't say, you know, let the world come alive or the worlds collide. I could easily see that being your crash out. So. Yeah, okay. Yeah, like it's the same thing. It's the same thing. Where like the other sound effects happening at the same time really make it hard to hear the actual words. Yeah. And it's like yeah, it's a lot harder to see it. Shupa! That's a shupa! I'm gonna keep on shupawing. I protest. I am protesting the state of this reality. Like that is a shupa. We protest this reality. I deny your truth bomb, Charlotte. I look. I like you, Charlotte. I appreciate your journalism, but some truths are better off ignored. They are not worth acknowledging. We can become informed. We can, be rational beings that decide we wish to go back to the ignorant reality, and therefore we just deny reality from now on, and that's fine. Yeah, I deny reality and substitute my own. Yeah, it does sound collide. If someone like had said that in chat when we weren't like specifically looking at voice lines and been like, hey, do you know Farina doesn't say collide? And they asked that specifically after I had heard that in combat and I like said it out loud on stream, I'd been like, no, that definitely says collide. And then I would have maybe had like a minor crash out, but like it would have just been like, huh. But whereas like shupa, like you gotta understand, shupa is something I have like I just, since I've been using Charlotte, I've just been going, say cheese, shupa. You didn't do the right line. Oh well. Like every time I've been using Charlotte, I say it every time I hear it. I just, it's not like yeah, rat from the sky. It's not like, this is like if actually, you know what the closest would be? The closest would be like if Goose on the Loose was. Well, Goose on the Loose, I don't know. Goose on the Loose doesn't even make sense. Like, Goose on the Loose is so weird that, like, it's hard for your brain to mishear it, I feel. Right? Like, it's like, how can you hear anything other than Goose on the Loose? Like, Muika's Wrath from the Sky, we call it Rat from the Sky just because it's funny. And it's a similar story with Shupa, with, like, the non-stressed, like, initial sounds. Like, the R sound is not very stressed. So it sounds like wrath, but wrath from the sky, rat from the sky, right? Not it. You didn't goose me. Adaptive prostate, what? That's a rat from the sky, right? The voice lines aren't obeying me. No, they're not. But yeah. Anyways, like once I heard somewhat, to be clear, like Rat from the Sky wasn't something I recognized myself. Rat from the Sky was something someone else said, and now I am like, yeah, it's Rat from the Sky. I don't care what the voice actor says. Again, we're substituting our own reality. Like that's Rat from the Sky. It just is. It's Rat from the Sky. We're Chat from the Sky. Yeah. Like you can do any at from the sky. You. Who cares? Goose on the Loose. But like Goose on the Loose is relatively strongly distinct. In a way, I don't know. But it feels to me like if Goose on the Loose was a completely like this is what the Shupa is for me, right? If Goose on the Loose was a completely different line the whole time. Right? Like imagine the whole community collectively accidentally gaslit themselves into thinking Goose on the Loose was some entirely different line.
No problem. Goose on the Loose.
Right? That's my reality right now. Is like I thought Charlotte's truth bomb was Shupa, and I say Shupa all the time, and it's not Goose on the Loose. It's something completely different. Like all the words are different. It's not Shupa. It's truth bomb. Like Charlotte, how could you? But honestly though, like this is the most ironic thing. This is the biggest crash I've had with like my life, honestly, of not realizing like something is not what I heard. Like obviously I've had plenty of times where like, you know, I heard something and it was not what I heard. That's how the human brain, language is weird. It's fine. Like I understand. I studied linguistics. It's fine. But like this is the biggest instance of like I had internalized something that I really enjoyed, and it's just completely different. And I just no, it's not a joke. I was saying Shupa because I thought it was Shupa, and I enjoyed it. Shupa. How do I feel about Eshu and Dahlia for Skirk? Eshu is a good weapon for Skirk, and Dahlia is a decent teammate because attack speed is pretty good for her. It'll make her more consistent. Yarp. By the way, I didn't talk about it in the video. Well, I briefly mentioned dash canceling. So like I had a way too long of a call with Tars where we mucked around with Skirk's combos because he was like really confident that dash canceling mattered on her. And the answer seems to be so like I've gotten like kind of good at dash canceling, and that has made some things about playing Skirk a little bit more consistent from like an optimal gameplay standpoint. But then other things just like it's still inconsistent. So I don't know. I know Zajeff recorded his post-release analysis video for Skirk, and I think he's gonna have a long yap about combos in there. And I'm gonna have to probably look at what he says, because I don't know. Like this is where I got misinformed about. Like I thought dash canceling was completely irrelevant, but like he had been like, oh, dash canceling is a damage loss, but like I don't think it is. Like I think proper dash canceling of Skirk's N5 can be a damage gain and help her be more consistent. But at the same time, I think Zajeff might have some better, easier to play combos that are more consistent on a damage level that is better on an optimization level for most people, unless you get really sweaty. And I don't know, me and Tars, for the life of us, even if it felt like we were doing the dash cancels really well, didn't seem like the dash cancels were consistently giving us 2 N5s. Anyway, sorry. There's a lot of context you're missing for that. You don't even know what I'm talking about. Anyways. You got it more consistently? Well, there you go. Tars is just better than me. But yeah, I think so. Like, I think Zajeff right now, by the way, Tars is now recommending the first rotation. His recommendation is do N5 Q N5, and he doesn't do any cancels of the N5. N5. So he does N5 Q, N5, N5, and then he does N4 charge attack. Because if you charge attack at the very end of when your Serpent Soul state ends, her Serpent Soul, her current Serpent Soul state ends, but she still absorbs the mirrors, and that gives her extra Serpent Souls for the next rotation. So that the next rotation, you can just do N5, Q, N5, N5, N5. Right? Which is interesting. And then he's able to like consistently do that from subsequent rotations, supposedly. I think. I haven't messed with it myself. Anyways, point is, there's actually like a surprising amount of nuance, I think, to doing different combos with Skirk, and I think that's a good thing about his character that makes her enjoyable to play. And if Stygian Onslaught didn't exist, I don't think there'd be any reason to care about that. Because the best doesn't matter. Other Riri, what do you want? Sure. Zajeff found and calced a new combo today specifically for the post-release? Of course he did. Of course he did. So I don't know. Anyways, the point is, that's an awesome thing. The fact that, like, the combo situation on Skirk, the nuance of, like, dash canceling being good or potentially bad, or, like or doing other weird things, like carrying over, yeah, like N2C can be a fit-in. Yes, exactly, right? I think Zajeff also has mentioned, like, yeah, N2C is more consistently gets you the final N5 anyways. But also that final N5 kind of sometimes doesn't matter because you run out of buffs anyways, which is a lot of what I was finding. In that, like, I was running out of buffs at the very end, so, like, why even bother doing N5? It doesn't really matter that much. Anyways, sorry. Can I take flowers for Skirk? Sure. Bon voyage. Go ahead. Well, that's the wrong... there you go. How to dash cancel? Wait, can you not? Can you not? Is my brain not functioning? Or can you not dash cancel with normal? Oh, I think you can. Okay, yeah, a dash and then do a normal attack input. So, here, let's go into the thing. Can I take flowers? Bon voyage, yeah. Anywho's, yes, I misheard Charlotte's voice line as Chupa, and that's why I streamed today. I wasn't planning on streaming because, like, I was tired, and I have D&D in 2 hours. Originally, I was gonna do Night Rain with some friends, but, like, anyways, yep. Should I have, should I glaze Charlotte? I cut out the Charlotte glazing. You know what? I think while we're on the Charlotte topic, we'll go to Stygian Onslaught after this person leaves my world. And I want to show why I can consistently beat dire difficulty with Charlotte with Skirk, whereas I can't with anyone else. It's inconsistent with all other characters. So, Charlotte's kind of interesting in the context of specifically the Mighty Butthole, and particularly in Stygian Onslaught difficulty 5 and 6. So, anyways, bap, bap, bap. Oops, what am I doing? So, dash cancels. So one important thing, this is probably more important than dash cancels, is using her mini burst after the first 5 normal attacks. But specifically, like, at the right time to make sure you don't cancel the 5th normal attack, because you can do that by accident if you press her mini burst too early. But you can cancel the animation. OMG, you did the new Abyss thing. What were your teams? I can't manage to do it. Skirk, Charlotte, Eskel, Farina, Kanich, Mav, Yonson? Yeah. Emily. And what was the first team? Arlecchino something against Tulpa. To be clear, Div 6 wouldn't have been doable for me without some extra 5 stars investment.
Isn't there anything else more
There you go.
interesting to do?
I didn't have to do that.
Wait, hold that pose.
I think I canceled it too early. I have cryo on me, and I can't test here. I can't test in the first chamber right now because cryo on you slows you down, and that makes it feel completely off. Oh, they just immediately left. Oh. I don't have all these units, but I'll try to cook something new. Thanks for the flour. Well, oh, okay. They typed out those messages fast. I just spent like 20 seconds in the thing. I was gonna probably tell them after they responded, being like, difficulty 5 is a different beastie. But, have they cleared? Oh, they did difficulty 5. Okay. So they're just trying to clear difficulty 6. I see. I mean, they do have a C2 Mweakers. They have Aressa. So, like, if this player... It's a lost prayers for Aressa, though. I don't know if... I don't think I've seen a Lost Prayers of Aresta clear. I don't know. I don't know if anyone's done a Lost Prayers of Aresta clear on difficulty 6 yet. They have a C1 Farina, and they have a Scofier, but they didn't get Skirk. They're not clearing difficulty. Like, yeah, well, okay, I'm just gonna say you're not. Without like stupid investment, you don't clear difficulty 6. Like, obviously, so I was gonna make a Stygian Onslaught Yap video this weekend, but like, I couldn't figure out how I want to frame it. I think I know how I want to frame it. I'm still gonna make a Stygian Onslaught Yap video. My current thinking, and I might change the title, but have it be the same video or whatever, right? I have like 4 different potential titles, but my current leaning is Stygian Onslaught is a wonderful nightmare. And that's just to emphasize how, like, I can enjoy this game, or I can enjoy this game mode, and many people can potentially enjoy this game mode, but it's not for everyone, and that's fine. But also, there's things that can definitely be improved about it. Like, it's definitely kind of inherently flawed. And I can tell you, I am very confident based on my experience with difficulty 6 at this point. I'm pretty sure there's going to be difficulty 6 that I can't clear. Just because I cleared difficulty 6 this time does not mean I'm going to clear it next time. The reason I can clear difficulty 6 this time is because I happened to already, like, I already wanted Skirk, and I liked her enough that I wanted to hyper invest into her, right? So, anyways, that's the truth bomb of the day for you if you didn't know that for some reason. Yeah, difficulty 6 is not necessarily whale shit, but it is like, hope you happen to have the highly specific teams with really good investment. Or some conjunction of getting lucky with or making mistakes with getting certain constellations, yada yada. Yeah, I agree that the automaton is the biggest offender. I agree. I really, I strongly feel that the biggest problem, this is kind of the biggest problem with Abyss 2 in many ways. The biggest problem with Stygian Onslaught is just how they're designing enemies, and not actually the game mode itself necessarily, but the enemies are made in context of the game mode, so like, you know, it's not like those are disconnected things entirely. It's a bit stupid to like analyze that in a vacuum. Anyways, did I activate Skirk C1? I am tempted to do that now. I don't. Well, I don't know. What is there I have to do at this point before I activate her C1? Like the one reason to potentially not activate her C1 is to make a Sunfire Skirk video, but I don't think I want to make a Sunfire Skirk video anymore because like it kind of really hurts me that I didn't say it on the stream itself, right? But the fact that C2 Gene seems to essentially be necessary for Sunfire Skirk, and the fact that Stygian Onslaught exists now, like I don't recommend Sunfire Skirk for Stygian Onslaught, right? But the fact that you need C2 Gene and Stygian Onslaught existing now means like it's gone from like I could strongly recommend this for an Abyss context to like I can still maybe recommend this for Abyss, but what I wanted it to be initially was like, hey, here's a secret free-to-play team. The Skirk plus a second cryo unit, like Diona, who's on banner currently, plus Jean is actually a pretty good melt team and maybe one of the more compelling free-to-play teams. Except it requires C2 Gene, which means it's a total fucking crapshoot on whether or not you could be playing this game for 3 years and not have C2 Gene, right? Like, you want to see how many Mizukis I have? Well, to be clear, Mizuki's new, so bad example, I guess. But anyway, you get the point. So I don't know. I don't know if I want to make a Sunfire Skirk video anymore, other than the video I made with the live stream. Like the live stream, I think is enough. So I think I'm ready to activate Skirk C1 at this point, but not like literally this moment. So you've been playing for 3 years and do not have C2 Gene. There you go. See. Why do you need C2 Gene? If you don't have C2 Gene, you don't have enough to... you need the attack speed. Okay, I haven't... I should do a test it. I keep on forgetting... Wait, do I have C2 Chungyun in... I don't... it's possible 8% attack speed gets you there, I guess. I guess we can test this quick. Wait, I need a cryo unit. I do need a hydro unit because I need to generate. Wait, I need to. No, sorry. I need to generate specifically one mirror, so I'm gonna put it in an animo unit. And then do the chungus.
Time for some training.
Okay. What's the truth bomb? The truth bomb is that Charlotte's voice line for her burst activation is not Shupa like I've been thinking it is for over 2 years. Wait, how long? When was Farina's release? It's getting close to 2 years. That's crazy. Oh my god. The frick. It's getting, guys, it's getting close to 2 years since Farina's release. I know she came out in like October. I'm aware. Like we're like four-ish months away from that. But like, bruh, it's close to 2 years since Farina's release. What the hell? Anyways. So like almost 2 years, I've been thinking it's Shupa! And it's not, it's Truth Bomb. And I thought it was funny that, you know, I thought it was funny that like, I'm being silly, but like, I'm not lying when I'm saying it's like the most notable instance of like my brain being like, no, it can't be that I've misheard this the whole time. And the fact that it's a truth bomb and the voice line is truth bomb is just comical. Like, it's really funny. It's really funny, but also give me my Shupa reality back. Anyways, that's all. I want my Shupa back. Okay, one mirror. Clap. Oh. Okay. Maybe it is. So so the problem is then that means okay, so we got 3 N5s there, right? And that last N5 is a big deal because is big multiplier that applies cryo. This big multiplier applies cryo and then can get a big melt hit, right? Like, it kind of matters a lot. So Chung Yun can enable getting that N5. I did absorb the rift, right? Let me go do it again. So if Chung Yun's 8% attack speed is enough to get that N5, that third N5, then Sunfire Skirk should be doable with consistency without having C2 Gene. But then you have to use Chung Yun, and that's unfortunate, right? And it's also definitely harder to play because min-maxing the value of Chung Yun is you want the cooldown reduction, or you want to, sorry, not the cooldown reduction. She does get it. Okay. I wouldn't have thought 8% attack speed is enough. I should demonstrate that, like, here. No attack speed. I just canceled. I gotta redo. Wait, didn't I get it there? What's happening? Maybe I've just gotten better at... Maybe so the thing is, I don't know, I gotta go... this is... maybe it isn't the attack speed there. I gotta go test Skirk with Sunfire on my casual account more and see if I can recommend it as like a free-to-play level. Because I can't make a video titled Skirk has a secret free-to-play team if it doesn't work without C2 Gene. If it works with Chung Yun, that's interesting. I also don't know if I want to recommend it if it like requires good like dash canceling to get or whatever. Right? It's an ICD issue. I mean, well, it's not an ICD issue. It's you want, like, yes, it is an ICD issue in that you want to get the N5. You want to get that extra N5 because this is where the biggest melt hit is, right? It's a substantial damage loss if you don't get that third N5. So like, yes. Anyways, it's technically free to play in 2 years. Yeah, I don't know. Anywho's, here, let's go glaze Charlotte for a little bit. In Stygian Onslaught, because I want to show how, like, in my experience thus far, I have found that I get more consistent clears with Charlotte than I do, and my best clear time has been with Charlotte, not any of like the premium 5-star supports. So, and by the way, Charlotte's energy needs here, like, Charlotte does not need. Oh yeah, by the way, I went in testing. This was all off camera, off stream. I did a Stygian Onslaught dire difficulty clear without her signature weapon and with Charlotte, right? So this is how I discovered this, by the way. I was trying different last slot teammates to try to reduce the 5-star investment required to clear Stygian Onslaught dire difficulty against the cryo boss. Still using Skirk, of course, because yeah, but removing different levels of 5-star investment. I haven't tried this yet. Maybe I can clear with Finale of the Deep, maybe, but like I'm gonna have to get even better at playing Skirk and probably want R5 to properly test that, and I might do that. Did I try Shenhe 2? Yeah, I don't like Shenhe against the cryo boss very much. It just doesn't feel very good. So anyway, like I don't know. Like I am surprised people are having the most success with Shenhe. I think they're just using her because 5-star cryo unit. I don't know. I think people are tricking themselves into thinking Shenhe is better than she is. She's like fine. But like I have an incredibly good noblesse build, but then I have to change my Escoffier build. Like, the context in which I think Shenhe is better is if you have Fork on Escoffier. Because if you have Fork on Escoffier, you want to burst every rotation anyways in order to get the buff from the Fork, right? And the buff from the Fork is significant. But if you don't have Fork on Escoffier, and that's an additional 5-star investment that a lot of people don't have, right? So, like, if I want my Escoffier to work properly against this boss, I have to go put her on Skyward Spine and change a couple other artifacts around in order to properly have enough energy recharge so that she can burst consistently. So like I want to acknowledge that one of the advantages of using Charlotte is that I don't have to burst with Escoffier, and I think that's a significant upside. So anyways, but I will go try to demonstrate that. I'll use Shenhe. Actually, first I will use Mualani, I think. Either Mualani, Shenhe, they all are going to require me changing the Escoffier build. Yada yada. Point is, like, I have found Charlotte better, and in big part it is because of the fact that she can reduce the gauge of like that's tracking cryo hits on this boss, really quickly, and such that like Skirk can basically immediately start doing damage when otherwise you'd have to spend some of your rotation time, and at least 2 rotations what I found, not dealing much damage at the beginning of Skirk's like damage window, like wasting up time on your Farina buff, wasting up time on TDDS buff, or whatever other buffs going on, yada yada. Like, anyways, why not just put Fav on Escoffier? That lowers her damage. And also, you have to burst on her. Having to do a 5-star burst animation takes time. Like, it takes longer to do Escoffier's burst animation than... Like, to be clear, this team isn't perfect. Particularly when I play it in... If I was playing perfectly optimal, it actually would be really good. But anyways. I swapped out early there. Whoops. Not bad. I got the byline 5. Got it. Nice. Like, I'm waiting less than a second to be clear to get Skirk's skill back. But that less than a second is less time than Escoffier's burst takes. Ooh, don't kill me. Just because we're waiting anyways. Stall mechanic. Fap. Okay, do that. Okay, it's down. Aww. Kill it with that. No? Wait. Oh, crap. Oh, crap. Oh, boy. What am I doing? Wow, I almost super scuffed that at the end there. Pinning a message explaining the title would be great. But yeah, anyways, you can see, like, I really kind of scuffed that at the end. But I can pretty consistently beat dire difficulty now, where, like, it was a struggle for me to do that before. And here, let me go use, like, the teams. Wait. Let me go use the teams that I was originally using. So, return. So, yeah, yes, duh, you can put more. The problem, guys, is not that I can't put more energy, like, more energy on Escoffier. I can get Escoffier to burst consistently. It's not that problematic. Here, and let's see if I can get away with just doing this. I haven't moved. That's not quite correct. This will make more sense then. Okay, that no. I think let's do this. No, not that. Sure, sorry. Do this. There we go. Let's try this. Let's see if 160 ER is enough on Fav, or sorry, on Serpent Spine. So like, by the way, this looks a lot worse. It's not that much worse for her damage. Like when we put Shenhe on the team, this should be pretty good. It's not ideal by any means. And like I acknowledge that the fact that I don't have a crit damage circlet available is part of why I've said this before. Is part of why Shenhe doesn't feel that good. But there's other reasons why Shenhe doesn't feel that good. So let's try Shenhe and Mualani instead. And Mualani is a closer. Like I thought Mualani was going to end up being my preferred teammate in the last slot of Skirk's like strong teams. But I have found that Charlotte is against this boss at least, and I think she might be after this boss just because like the additional damage I get from Mualani on 4-piece scroll versus the damage I get from Charlotte on TDDS and which is the same between the two, but on Noblesse is not that significant. 20% attack versus 40% damage bonus isn't that different. And Charlotte can save rotation time. Charlotte is better for shield breaking for application, well, assuming you don't need Hydra application, but Mulan doesn't apply crap for Hydra application, right? So anyways, whatever. Burst rotation doesn't matter. Okay, well, I should have bursted when I was doing there. Sorry, that was dumb. Yep. Yep. To be clear, I might get this one first try too, just because I've gotten better at playing Skirk. That might be a factor here. I don't know. But should do N2. It's gonna be more. Well, honestly, I don't think it matters. And yeah, energy situation, little non-ideal, but not great. Do this while it's charging up. Yep. Like that meter, see now how we're not doing damage to it? That is a significant problem. Like, not charging up that meter a lot functionally increases the damage we need quite a lot. And to be clear, do I think I could do this with this team? Yeah. I do think I could do this with this team. Why the Shenhe hold E? Because you should be holding E with Shenhe with Skirk. You get normal attack damage bonus, and you don't quick swap. Like, you tap E on Shenhe when you can do 2 E's per rotation. You can't do 2 E's per rotation on a unit that doesn't let you swap out. So, like, you do tap E on Scofie, or not Scofie, on, what's her bucket? Ayaka teams, because, one, Ayaka is doing more skill and burst damage. So you want the tappy skill and burst damage bonus, but also you get more total quills, more total cryo buffing by doing 2 tappies per rotation versus 1 hold E per rotation. But that requires being able to swap out to do 2 tappies per rotation. So I don't think Shenhe burst is relevant. I mean, I think you're wrong because like it's giving cryo red shred. But sure, try it. test your theory. Didn't have the Brina skill back yet, so... Frick. Okay, well... I bursted there. Whoops, my bad. I'll skip the burst next rotation. Bad. Terrible. Alright, no Shenna skill. Or no Shenna burst, sorry. Oh, that might kill me. Wait here. Whoops, I did a charge attack. Sorry. Ah! Did I do it? No, frick. Okay, well that was skill issue. That was skill issue. Yeah, obviously doable with Shenna. I think you're right that Shenna burst wastes too much time. I think we saved like functionally at least 8 seconds. No, maybe only like 6 seconds. Either way, I think we saved like 6 seconds by doing some shorter rotations in there. That like the extra cryo rush shred didn't really matter in this case, particularly because it's starting. It has negative 30 resistance to cryo. I expected the cryo hits from Shenna's burst to matter a little bit more, but they obviously don't because she just doesn't hit frequently enough. But either way, I don't know. Like, I'm sure I could get used to Shenhe and enjoy using her in the last slot here, without a problem. But like, like, I kind of like, I don't know. I really tend to prefer teams that don't have to constantly use a ton of 5-star burst animations. So. Wait, sorry, I need to check. Are you on Billion Tails? Oh, frick, I can't tell. God dang it. Stupid weapon skins. Yes. Alright. Oh yeah, it also gives the damage bonus. Yes, you're right. So, I thought the extra res shred, because it's not going to do nothing. We're not at 100%, I don't think. Wait, are we? Oh. Wait, that might be why. Because you're at 95% res shred, aren't you? I don't think res shred doesn't go past 100, right? I don't know. Anyways, that might be part of why Shenna's burst isn't necessary either. I knew it had negative cryo res. I just didn't think about the fact that we're already at like we're already basically at 100% red shred. That's what I didn't think about. Oops, that was terrible. I didn't do any charge attacks. Whoopsies. It's fine. How'd I do that? Whatever. Work. Ah. Energy needs are higher on a Scopy in this team. Oh no. Oh no. Well, To be clear, my first clear on Stygian Onslaught difficulty 6 was with Mualani, by the way. We are not having a Mualani problem here. We are having a Escoffier's ER needs are slightly higher problem. Like here. Let me go back to the Escoffier build. That was the first build I used to do my Stygian Onslaught clear. So this is basically almost exactly the same artifact. Doing this is almost exactly the same artifacts, I believe. Yeah, that is the same build I used. This is almost exactly the same artifacts I use, other than on all the characters, other than the fact that Skirk I re-rolled a couple pieces. So I technically have a minorly better Skirk build than I did for my original. Otherwise, it's original clear. Otherwise, it's the same as my first clear. And we'll see if I manage to do it. I should be doing a charge attack, by the way, for the next rotations. To get the meter down. Wait, I didn't need to do that. That was dumb. Bad rotation there. Really bad. Right, I keep doing that when I don't need to do that when I do a charge attack beforehand. God. Why did I just start check twice? Oh my god, what's wrong with my brain? Okay, to be clear, I'm playing this a lot worse than I was with the other characters. You can see it's working better now that I actually have energy on Escoffier. Oh, this is where I would have, yeah, should have done those. Yeah. Yeah, I scuffed that. But, like, obviously I could have done that. Like, you get the point. I don't know. Like, I just find that the optimization against this boss in particular is a lot less enjoyable with characters other than Charlotte. Because you have to do annoying things like doing the Skirk charge attack spam to get the meter down. And, like, you have to do that with basically every team that isn't Charlotte. Like, it's just... Yeah, that's the truth bomb? No. No. No, the truth bomb is that Shu Pa. Truth bomb is this. I don't feel like repeating the whole thing. The truth bomb is that for 2 years, I thought Charlotte was saying Shu Pa, but she was saying truth bomb. And I hate everything. It's fine. I want my reality back. Anyways. Skirk build is good. Here you go. Done. Yes, the Skirk build is very good. Duh. No, it's not necessarily. It's definitely not necessary to have that good of a Skirk build, to be clear. With their Saint Tropin, at least. Obviously, you can. So in the team context, because like so, again, like I can't really remove the Farina factor. I did a clear with the Charlotte team. So my record with the Charlotte team is 107 seconds. 13 seconds is a lot of extra time. Like, and I also did a clear with Haran instead of her signature weapon. With the Charlotte team, again. So, I don't know. Anyways, like, unironically though, like, I do kind of feel if you are struggling, it may be worth considering using Charlotte. In my case... Yeah, it makes me... To be clear, the first Charlotte clear I did, by the way, I didn't change I didn't change Escovier's build. Here, let me leave Escovier on the high ER build and do a Charlotte attempt again. We'll see if I still get it first try, even when I don't. Like, Escovier, obviously, if I'm not bursting on her consistently, should be on a different build than I have her on, right? Anyways, I need to go work more at optimizing the other bosses. Because I want to see, I still want to see if I can do a Knight clear without Mawika. I tried with Pyro Traveler, but I've been struggling. I haven't tried with Amber at dire difficulty yet. That was a terrible, terrible sequence there. Didn't have to do that, whatever. Shupa! See, that's such a Shupa! You can't tell me that's a truth bomb. Okay, got early here. Good. Would wait a little bit for it to do. Yep. Okay, now, bam. Actually should have delayed the Charlotte cast a little bit. I probably shouldn't have done that. Whoopsies. That might have just cost me a clear. Oops. Yep. See, this is why you don't burst on Escovier. That was actually a good demonstration of like bursting on Escovier being bad. I don't know why I bursted there. That was stupid. But like, I literally, like, I don't know, right? Like, the demonstration there was obviously that, like, even without putting Escovier on a build that's actually optimized for this team for the fact that she doesn't need any energy, like, it still feels better to me. It still feels better. So, I don't know, right? This is what I'm enjoying the most right now, is my point. Is having her on a different weapon. It's good to have options. And like, I like goosing on the loose. The voice line is funny. I do like me goose on the loose, but I also like me some shoe paws. I like me some truth bombs. But I like me some shoe paws even more. So yeah, I don't know. Anyways, how much ER would Escovier need to skirt for an Yelan team without fab weapons? Without fab weapons? 5 billion? I don't know. Why do you do that to yourself? I'm assuming because you don't have them. I don't know. You're doing double hydro, no fab, double hydro. Why aren't you using? Wait, you have fab bow. Why the hell are you not using fab bow? Whatever. Why the heck are you not using fab bow on Yelan? Elegy? Okay. I mean, you're being punished for. This is the problem I've had with 5-star weapons that buff. Is like, even when the buffs that the 5-star weapons are really good. By the way, we're doing really terribly. They like don't necessarily beat out energy. So I don't know, like 200 probably. I'm gonna do this because I think it actually makes the timing line up better for the Ow. I think it makes the timing for the next thing line up better. Yeah, there we go. Because now I can do this, and I'll do this, and then oh frick, my burst is back. Okay, whoops. I should that was because I got hit, not because of when necessarily anything else. Anyways, oh, I just canceled her. Oh my god. Well, this was terrible. This was terrible gameplay. No, man, that getting hit completely after things. Oh, I should have bursted. I think I could have bursted here. I still did it, but anyways. You can see I'm not playing very well right now, considering I've gotten 107 seconds before. But I don't know. It's really fun having content that actually pushes me to try to optimize things. Because, like, even if I couldn't clear difficulty 6, I think I would enjoy trying to see how close I can get. Is my overall vibe, right? Like, I'm really glad this exists. But I also do hate the cryo boss because, like, God, it's terribly designed. Also, I should have been claiming my rewards the whole time. So, last second shoot boss saved it. Indeed, it did. So, I don't know. Anyways, oh yeah, and if you care about Charlotte's energy needs here, to be clear, I think you probably want C4. And I think C6 is nice too. You saw how much healing was happening there, by the way? You might be like, well, Thrilling Tales of Dragon Slayers is not a attack weapon. It's super low base attack. And she heals based on her attack. Well, this was a level 9, so level 6, right, plus the constellations. It was a level 9 burst Charlotte on a ER timepiece, attack goblet, and healing bonus circlet, and a level 40 Thrilling Tales. And she was full healing the team without a problem. Like, her healing is not a problem. That you can heal plenty. You don't level your TTDS. I don't need to. I don't need to. It's fine. Why did they give her an 80 cost burst? Because they were scared of this. I honestly think they were scared of, like, they didn't want Charlotte to be too good of a buffer. Like, she's buffing attack by 68%. That's a lot. Why'd I only have 2 TTDS? I mean, I didn't think I would need more than 2 until recently, to be honest. So I'm probably gonna get a third now. I gotta keep it. I gotta watch for it, actually, now that I think about it. I remind myself to do that just in case I need a third, because now we have 3 teams, right? I don't think there's ever going to be a contest where I need more than 3 TTDSs in a stage onslaught. So anyways, with C4 refunding 10 energy, right? Does this consistently restore 10 energy? It's an opponent for the still photo comprehensive comprehensive. Is that her skill or is that her burst? No, that's her burst. Okay, yeah. So unless enemies are moving a whack ton, this should consistently give her 10 energy back. And yep, that's good. That's all. And then this makes her heal more. So like again, the constellations might matter, but I'm pretty sure Constellation 6 isn't that big a deal, considering again, I don't have I could make her heal 40% more, which is a lot. I could make her heal 40% more by giving her level 90 TTDS. Right? I go from like 900 and something attack to 1400. That's just like a 40% increase in healing. So anyways, but it's fine. I don't need to because I heal enough anyways with my C6. Even if I didn't have C2 Farina. And with my C2 Farina as a factor, I extra don't need to because C2 Farina makes it so I could have a non-optimal amount of healing. But I do have a perfectly fine amount of healing, even as it is. And this is a lot of ER, for sure. This is not as much as you need because, in case you didn't notice, most of the time what I was doing was funneling particles from Escoffier to Charlotte. And when I've been testing different the only reason I have run the super high ER build is because I just literally, like yesterday, so 2 days ago, I got this artifact from Strongbox, and I was like, sick. My highest ER Noblesse Feather. That's a perfect piece for, like, a Bennett, needing to min-max Bennett's ER, needing to min-max Mona's ER on Noblesse, needing to min-max Charlotte's ER on Noblesse. But actually, Charlotte is, like, the least necessary of those 2 units in my experience so far to min-max, in the context of the Skirk team, to be clear. Obviously, her ER needs to be higher outside of a Skirk team. And then I got this yesterday, which is unironically now one of the best artifacts in my account. It's a ridiculous piece. And ER timepiece, whatever. I gave her attack goblet. I gave Shan Yun this crit Goblet, not because I need her to crit, but simply because it was VV on attack percent and I had it, and I've decided I'm just going to use... Did I say Shinha? I decided if I'm going to use C2 Shanyun to her full power, I'm just going to use an ER timepiece on Shanyun, because it'll be fine. Like, it won't make a difference. Although I do want more ER than that, I think, still. It's fine. Point is, it seemed like the sweet spot for me, like for minimum ER with funneling particles, was about 200 with C4, right? So you're trying to emulate this, you know, aim for I'd say 200-ish with C4, maybe about 230 without C4. Like that. This is probably enough without C4, but I don't know. I haven't done energy calcs and I can't test on C4. So, anyways, Charlotte is just surprisingly good, and then it lends me into optimizing my Skirk. It feels like I'm optimizing Skirk gameplay more than I'm optimizing the boss mechanic when I include Charlotte in the team. Will I feel the same about Charlotte in Skirk teams as the last slot in Skirk teams be my preference over the 5 stars in different forms of content? Or different against different bosses, not different forms of content. Different bosses, like, maybe? Right? I don't know.
I knew you'd miss me.
I might end up feeling like against the... Well, I was going to say against the Electro Turtle is in Stygian Onslaught next patch, allegedly. And the Electro Turtle, I think Charlotte might be better against that too. Because, well, here. Sorry, we're going to continue the Charlotte plays since I'm going to truth bomb you. Today. It's the theme of today. I do want to actually keep Shenhe in my party, though, for now. I've been doing farming with Shenhe because I want friendship on Shenhe, so I can get her Echo, but anyways. There we go.
Pencils at the ready.
By the way, I kind of... Stygian Onslaught is making me want to actually level my Escoffier's build, like her skill talent more in particular, and level her to 90. Just because, again, like, min-maxing Escoffier is like one of the main things I can do right now to try and get a tiny fraction of a time save, right? And the reason I want to test that is because I kind of want to test the extent to which, you know, how much 5-star investment do I need? Because I can continue to like try to power down Farina more. I can continue trying to like if I can manage to get a Finale of the Deep R5 clear with this team in dire mode, I'd be very satisfied with that. But I think that would require probably a Escoffier crowned at level 90, and yeah, and again, I still have C1, C2 of Farina. Like that is making a difference. But I think removing Finale of the Deep is enough potentially. But then I also have to change my build around Finale of the Deep, so I'd probably have to do Finale of the Deep on my Marsh's Hunter build. But that's fine, because my Marsh's Hunter build should be better for that. So, anyways, for me, it's not what I would end up doing long term. But I don't know. Charlotte, anyways, let's go to Abyss, and then we'll go back to farming here, and then maybe I still have how much? I have an hour. Oh my god, I've been yapping for so long. I only have an hour until D&D. No, I don't have Dahlia C6, unfortunately. I'd be willing to... So, I would love to like try doing something with Dahlia, with a C6 in particular, and like Calamity of Eshu. But I don't have a shielder other than Sitlali that gives like uptime on this past 12 seconds, and it I don't know. Like, it's a good option for sure. It's what I'm using on Skirk on my casual account, but like, I don't think Skirk on Eshu without Sitlali is going to clear Stygian, right? Dire 6, whatever. But anyways, I want to show how freaking good Charlotte is at absolutely shredding the shields. You probably... No, actually you didn't, because I cut this out. I cut this out of the video. Because it was boring. Like, Chamber 2 is boring. But maybe I should have kept it in the video for more Charlotte propaganda. But like, you're gonna see Charlotte's burst here help meaningfully for being able to get through the Chamber 2 in particular, right? Like, because the problem I have with a bunch of Skirk teams in trying to optimize this is just like they have this like perfect awkward balance of not quite breaking the shields fast enough, and it wastes a lot of time. Particularly like the seahorse, you can like end up break. I'm sure if you've gone through this abyss, you probably experienced this. If you've gone through like more than once or whatever, you probably experienced this bunch. Like you get the shield down on the seahorse to like 3/4 or like maybe even 8/10, 9/10, but just can't quite break it before it jumps up in the air, and that wastes so much time, right? Like, and Charlotte basically completely avoids that issue. I think Layla has a better shield than Silali, and not for uptime it doesn't. To be clear, I want to level Layla. So I think Layla is interesting with Skirk, particularly from a lower investment perspective. Oops. Yeah, Layla. Wow. Layla has a bigger shield, yeah, but you also still have to dodge because yeah, if the shield breaks, which the shield can easily break, and whatever, it's fine. It's fine. I don't plan on going for CC Thalia. I've already decided on that. I'm happy with Skirk where she's at right now. I don't want her C2. And I don't particularly have that much desire for Shenhe constellations. I didn't mark anything with E there. Wow. It didn't matter, to be clear. It's just like, wow. You cryo on me, butthole. It's bad, but whatever. Better to pull Skirk, Noah Scofie, or should I pull for the Robot Lady? Which do you want more? I don't think Stygian Onslaught changed, like, in a weird way, like, one thing in my Stygian Onslaught video that I'm probably going to yap about is how I think Stygian Onslaught makes me more comfortable skipping units. Which I don't think is the design intent. I think they want you to pull the recent units. But the reason for this is because, like, for me, at least, at my investment level overall with some of my like strong supportive constellations, I feel more rewarded right now with how Stygian Onslaught is structured for making a bad decision of going for like, because remember, I got lucky getting Skirk. I got her 20 pity with a 50/50, and I decided to do the bad decision of going for Azure Light. And then I also then continued wishing because one, I wanted to see Zero Dahlia, and then I went to pity because I still had wishes left, and I figured, Skirk C1 could be cool. I think I'm going to like this character. And I was perfectly fine losing a 50/50 too. The correct decision there would have been saving, to be clear. If I wanted to prioritize clearing dire difficulty potentially next time on Stygian Onslaught, or maybe even have an much easier time at difficulty 5, right? I should pull the character next patch, right? That is the better decision. But right now, for me, for the account investment I am at, doesn't mean it's the same for you. Accounts are different. Your account is not my account. And our experiences can be different because of that. But I feel rewarded for my bad decision this time around for just investing more into a character I like because of the fact that there is this Stygian Onslaught that has more of that actually has a difficulty level that you can see the difference that makes, right? In particular, her weapon was like, it's a meaningful difference maker in my case, although, again, I tested it and I wouldn't actually have needed it to clear difficulty 6, but I would have potentially needed it to clear difficulty 6 if I didn't have Farina C1. But also maybe I could have like had Escovia fully invested. Maybe I still wouldn't have needed, I don't know. I'm not sure. The point being is like I like this character and I am in this weird middle ground where like I am fairly comfortable skipping a lot of like main DPS units in particular. And if they're going to continue going this direction of like making Stygian Onslaught difficulty 6 very hard to clear without having high investment into like if they're going to do a Skirk Shilling boss with like a Skirk Shilling support, right? Like if a Nepha releasing next patch is the Electro Charge, Lunar Charge support, and then there's a main DPS that specifically wants a Nepha in their best team to be able to clear, and like you kind of need like as a Skirk or Scophia situation for dire difficulty, but now you need a Nepha and a new main DPS releasing in 6.0 to be able to clear the 6.0 Stygian Onslaught at dire difficulty. I'm fine with that. In that, like, if that's the case, I'll just use that as more reason to skip them, right? And I'll be perfectly fine just clearing difficulty 5 that time around, right? Like, I'm fine with that. Like, dire difficulty feels like it rewards me at its best when I do a little bit of hyper investment for the specific units I like a lot. So what it makes me want to do is skip more units in favor of just saving my resources for doing like what I did with Skirk here, right? Which maybe that is their intention, because maybe they decided that was going to make more money. Maybe this is an intentional thing they are making me feel. But like unironically, like this new game mode being more difficult, needing a higher DPS check, makes me feel that more than it makes me feel like, even though like they're hard designing the bosses for specific things, I'm just gonna be like, okay, whatever, I can't clear this future Stygian Onslaught at difficulty 6. That's fine, right? Like I don't know, like I right now I don't feel like, even though they are making a boss that is really pushing Inefa next, I don't think it's going to be a factor for me that meaningfully in whether or not I pull Inefa, and if anything, makes me want to skip her more. In favor of saving my resources for Dia banner, for Lanyan, and Lanyan's on a Nepha banner, then I might pull for a Nepha, because you have to pull on a 5-star banner to get 4 stars. So I don't know. Like, I don't like that difficulty 6 requires at least a signature. I wouldn't say it requires it. Like I said, I cleared with Haran with Skirk. It doesn't, technically, but it requires some form of additional 5-star investment. And in Skirk's case, I think the smartest additional form of investment that will do the most noticeable effect for the most people is probably your signature weapon. Probably. But it depends on your account. Arguably, the fork might do more from a Scophia. Or a Scophia C1 might actually do more. I don't know. Like, on a spreadsheet level, is it 100% the best as far as additional 5-star? But, you know, like, I think you really want some additional form of 5-star investment. Has anyone done... Let's do Googling. Skirk C0R0 Stygian Dire Mode. Six cost. Okay, so this is a 6 cost. Do they have a 4 cost? No. Okay, what is the 6 cost? So Fav on Shenhe. Oh, what? Oh, I sorry. Okay, my bad. This is not their fault. This is my fault. Jamie put in the title properly. Okay, never mind. Anywho's, yeah, I think it requires some additional 5-star investment. And the easiest one, and like arguably the cheapest one, being that weapon banner is cheaper than character banner, is going to be weapon copies. But like, does that mean it makes sense to wish in the weapon banner specifically? Not necessarily, because like you can be smart with the weapon banner, and wishing on banners that give you valuable weapons for either. And in the context of this banner, it potentially is a pretty good banner, because like you get this in the worst case for Escoffier. Right, if I had this weapon on Escoffier, I could use this weapon with my ER timepiece build, right? It would and be fine. It'd be fine. Or actually, this is probably just better than Homa, now I think about it, on even in my Charlotte context, right? So, yeah. Anywho's, like, it would have been... It's not a bad weapon to get for a Skirk team context. And it's possible that this makes the most sense, right, is my point. Compared to, like, going for Skirk C1, going for Frina C1, going for Scophia C1. yada yada. But I think, yeah, I don't know. I have yet to see anyone clear without having some form of additional 5-star investment. So yeah, I will be very happy. I think that's what I'm going to try to do before I activate C1 Skirk. I gotta test the Sunfire thing, but I can try to, like, if I'm gonna make the Sunfire video around, like, it being a free-to-play team, I can make it on the casual account, I guess. So I think the last thing I need to test for Skirk on my account here is, before I activate C1, is trying to clear difficulty 6 with a 4-star weapon. It might be doable, but I also don't know if I want to put the resources into having to do it, because I'm gonna have to, like, get R5 finale, probably. I'm gonna have to get a Scofier, probably level her at least a level 9 talent. So yeah, there's no consequences to it. It's just the stupid skins to flex. To be clear, one of my suggestions for improving things, like, I actually do not think the skins should be permanent. I agree with them making them temporary, but I disagree with how long they last, right? I think it's kind of cringe that they only last 40 days. I think they should last 3 patches, right? Because there is a small contingent of people who will feel pressured to pull for the skins, who will feel pressured to pull for and build characters they otherwise weren't as interested in, because they want to, like, keep the stupid skin for their Chongyun or their Shenhe, right? And, like, you shouldn't do that. Like, please don't. It's dumb. But it would be better if they just lasted longer, right? Because for me, right, if they made it so they lasted 3 patches instead of 1 patch, if the skins lasted 3 patches, then I'm pretty sure I can clear at least 1 out of every 3 dire difficulties with doing what I mentioned before, where I just, like, every 3 patches I happen to invest enough into the teams that are good at clearing dire difficulty, such that I can continue to have them, right? It is unfair if you get the skin last day. Yeah, there's that too, I guess. That's true. Because it only lasts until the next Stygian Onslaught, I believe. So, yeah, I don't know, right? Like, I'm glad dire difficulty exists. I really think, but I think it's just, again, at its best, if you're like my account is, where, like, you already happen to be like when I went through it, I was like, okay, I'm not sure that I can do this at all when I was going into it. And then once I actually started attempting it with the teams that made sense for it, I was like, oh, I can do this on my account. Like, my account was very borderline for it, but still borderline, but more. I still had more 5-star investment that was necessary, is my point, right? Like, it was actually not as bad as I thought it would have been, and that's a good thing. Like, I like that it's a difficult check, but I don't know. And it's really funny to me, by the way, seeing, like, I'm not gonna name names, but I've seen some people who, like, get a lot of, like, really strong C2s. I'm not gonna name who it was, but I saw them clear difficulty 6 with a C4 Farina with her signature weapon, and, like, C4 Farina is where her signature weapon actually starts to make sense. And, like, signature weapon, a build optimized around her signature weapon, and, like, getting 50% more damage bonus than you get at C0, because C3 is another 25%, right? And then Farina C2's damage increase, and then C4 making her weapon actually be a real damage increase. Like, I've seen C6 character struggle to clear. Okay, I'm getting to my point. So they were using, like, Farina C4, a Shenhe, I believe C1. With Shenhe C1, I don't think that mattered that much. I mean, I think it helped minorly, but, like, whatever. There's a Shenhe C1. I don't remember if it was with Fab or not. It doesn't really matter. Arguably, Fab might have been better. And then it was an Escoffier C2 with the fork, and then a Skirk C2 with signature weapon. And I don't know how good the build was. And, like, and they struggled. I'm just like, to be clear, that wasn't the only team. I think he actually might not have struggled that much with that one. Now that I think about it, I don't remember. I skimmed through what, like, his clear time was, or whatever. His clear time was worse than my clear time with Charlotte, with a much lower investment team, to say the least. So, and, like, it should have been easy to clear with that. Like, like easy. And he also, I think he had a C2 Muika as well for the Tulpa. And like, so it's really funny to me seeing people like that who don't know how to play the game very well, and like you can see those people, like how they got those constellations, and like this is where the effect of like people saying, oh, you're underestimating what the constellation comes from, when they're like saying that about my Farina C2. Because like, yeah, it can have an effect, but like I know how it works. I've done a lot of testing that basically no one tends to do, directly comparing things. And in the context of Abyss, C2 Farina on its own basically never matters other than very specific situations. In Stygian Onslaught, it can matter much more for me in my context because of how much I'm right on the line. But also, if I could turn off Farina C2, Farina C1 even, I'm pretty sure I can still declare difficulty 6 with the Skirk team, right? Anyways, point being, like, it's funny to me seeing the players that like do high investment things, with like constellations and weapons and whatever, but then don't, but then still struggle to clear, because it's just like yeah, you actually do have to know how to play the game to some extent. Right? Doing proper rotations worth dozens of CV, yeah, pretty much, right? And like, to be clear, my gameplay is not perfect, and the community is still kind of figuring out what makes sense for Skirk's combos in differing contexts, right? Like, and that's great nuance to Skirk. And there's a lot of people though that like get constellations and just don't understand any of that, and then they conclude, oh, this was really hard for me to clear with my 800 extra 5 stars of investment. This is impossible without whaling. And it's like, no, it's impossible for you without whaling. There's a difference. But anyways, like, Stygian Onslaught is this weird balance of like, if you want to clear difficulty 6, you have to be both horizontally invested in the right way and vertically invested in like the exact right balance. And my account is in this like really perfect middle ground for exactly that, where I was for this Stygian Onslaught, and it's not necessarily the case for the future ones, where like I'm exactly at this balance of having the right amount of horizontal investment into having different character options, but also vertical investment in those specific teams that do work for the bosses. And like a lot of the things, like a lot of the extra 5 stars that I've gotten weren't acquired by like spending a bunch of money. I have spent money in the game, but like Skirk, this team, for example, I spent nothing. Not nothing. Like, Welkins helped. But like this team, as high investment as it is, I spent nothing. Other than Welkins, essentially, for contributing to it. Like, should I have gone for Free C2? Probably not. I should have saved those resources to use on someone else. But I also don't regret it, because I like it for the niche situations it enables that are relevant to me. I don't know. Stygian Onslaught is weird, is the point. Let's demonstrate Charlotte's shield breaking potential. Good job. Alright, murder these. Didn't crit, nice. Not like it matters. Okay, well it matters when I don't charge attack. It does matter when I don't charge attack. Oopsies. Whatever. Please? You're gonna... Yeah, thanks for stall mechanics, yeah. Oh wow, we got the good one. Try to kill this. Trap. Trap. Shoot ball. Wow. Yep, the high investment was really necessary there. Anyways, like Abyss just never, Abyss never needed any, like, it's so funny, right? How many people just, like, only play the really strong teams, and then, like, they still hyper invest into things. I like the reason I like to do, like, some amount of vertical investment is, yes, partially the same monkey brain effect that other people have, but it's also because I like to do shenanigans, right? It's because I like having these random extra high investment things like 5-star weapons, and like the cumulative effect of these 5-star weapons, support constellations, yada yada, does help me do shenanigans a lot. It's what I have found I enjoy in the game, and why I consider it. And not all of them have been worthwhile. I said before how like C2 Shallonen has not made that much of a difference. I thought it was going to be more fun for shenanigans than it was at enabling shenanigans, and it just wasn't. And it's not like it's useless. Obviously, it helps. But the point is like, by having that strong of a Skirk team, for example, I could potentially use a much worse team on the first side. Yada yada, at worst. And that's part of why I have enjoyed, right, doing that. But like, people are like, go get C1 R1 Nuvillette, C2 Farina, C1 Escoffier with Fork. And then the other side, they also have a C2 Muikers with a C2 Sealolly. For Abyss? Why? Like, why is that enjoyable? Like, Abyss just never necessitated it. And like, they've always had enemies with some kind of stall mechanic. Like, not always, it's not like, but they almost always have enemies with stall mechanics that make it such that you don't actually see a meaningful change in like your gameplay experience, other than the number you see on screen. But, like, your clear times tend not to meaningfully improve with higher investment in Abyss. Like, yeah, and at some point it can be actually bad, yes, because it mucks with your ability to get energy for the next chamber. That's true. Like, just like, you can get punished for high investment in Abyss. It's so I don't know. It's like, but Stygian Onslaught exists and now justifies it on some level, but now it's funny seeing those people that did that, right, and then struggling to clear in Stygian Onslaught despite having the investment level, because they never had to learn. They never had to learn how to play the teams. Anyways, it's fine. It's just funny. That's all. It's so funny, like, seeing the effect this game mode is having on how people think about how they play the game, and how people relate their experience to others. Because like, I think it's very hard to relate one person's specific experience in Stygian Onslaught to another person's experience. Like, it's gonna vary wildly based on like your individual account relative to another account. That's why I've not said like, yes, I think if I cleared Stygian Onslaught with my teams at my investment level, you can clear too at difficulty 6. Like, no. That is not a given. I am not going to say that. So, anyways, but I think that's fine. Like, I don't think there has to be. I think it's the idea that like, what, like am I should I be upset that I can't use DPS Lanyon to clear Stygian Onslaught? You would think maybe I am, because I like Stygian Onslaught a lot, but I'm not really, because there's still content I can play DPS Lanyon in. We're in it right now. Abyss is a lot more flexible. I can go and use DPS Lanyon is not ideal for this Abyss by any means, I would say, but I can use, and I did clear with DPS Lanyon on the first side without much issue, right? And so like, I can still be happy playing DPS Lanyon, and this has been my like gripe all along, in that like, I want more content that actually like exists to make me want to play the characters I like playing. And that's what Stygian Onslaught is right now. Like, Stygian Onslaught gives me a reason to play strong teams, and then I can continue doing shenanigans more in Abyss. And this is why I want them to make Abyss a little bit more flexible, like more flexible than this current Abyss cycle is, for example. So, I don't know. Anyways, so like, I am fine with Stygian Onslaught, particularly if they I should have done that first there, but well, it didn't matter. Should have done, doesn't matter. Do this. I didn't time that well. Whatever. Bap. Alright, waiting on cooldown. I didn't time things well, but it's fine. Bap. And watch Charlotte's Burst annihilate this without even having to do anything on Skirk, basically. Oh no, didn't quite. Sorry. But you can see, like, just Escoffier and Charlotte. Here, let me do it again. But I'll actually use Skirk this time. Just Escoffier and Charlotte, like, gets through a good amount of the bar. It's not like it deals with it on its own, but her being a catalyst unit, and then, like, I don't know. Anyways, not to mention, like, you could purposely do things by being able to use Charlotte there for shield breaking, both against the Seahorse and the Lecter. You can purposely do things like not use it. You don't have to do normal attack mode on Skirk, right? to be able to get through the shield. Therefore, you could do something like do Skirk's hold E in order to get additional energy to do a really big front-loaded damage burst on like the Seahorse, for example, by not using Skirk's normal attacks to deal with it. But anyways. Meanwhile, IT is sitting in a corner. IT is still weird. Like, I have grown to appreciate IT a little bit in the embrace the jank perspective, right? I still really don't like that they force you to level units for it. I think they should let you bring unleveled units. For sure. But at the same time, I don't know. Like, as much as like rag on IT and it's like it's fundamentally flawed, I still can have my fun in it. So I don't know, right? I really feel that now that all staging Onslaught potentially does is highlight flaws in like Genshin's overarching design structure rather than actually being that flawed in itself. And I'm still really just happy that there's a new form of endgame that just justifies doing things with stronger teams. I would like the Tulpa to be less restrictive. I think adding these additional restrictions onto difficulty 5 in particular is unnecessary. Also, I agree. I have slightly changed my mind in that I agree that difficulty 5 rewards should be co-opable. The reason I agree isn't because I think the rewards are important. I think people are way too focused. Like, if I ran Hoyle, you want to know what I would do? I'd make difficulty 5 have no rewards. And 6. Difficulty 5 and 6 are just for fun. I know it's a hot take because rewards! We need Primo Gems! Look, I've done most of my gameplay in Stygian Onslaught that I've done at this point. The vast majority of the time I have spent in Stygian Onslaught, I've spent a lot more time than I have like on stream. The vast majority of the time I have spent has been not for the rewards. It's been because I enjoy playing the combat of the game. I'm sorry, it's controversial to play a video game for fun and not because it gives you gambling rewards or grinding rewards. Like, I'm not saying the rerollers have no impact or whatever, but like, for example, my casual account, I'm pretty sure I could theoretically clear difficulty 5 on my casual account right now. I don't want to though. Like, it's going to take too much resource investment, too much logging in, too much like improving builds, min-maxing gameplay. I just don't care about the one reroller in difficulty 5 on my casual account right now. I don't care. And like, that's fine. I think the rerollers are perfect endgame rewards. But I think they should be co-opable. I think difficulty 5 should be co-opable for the rewards. Not because I think the rewards are important, but because it might incentivize people to play co-op more. That's the only reason. I think because people are monkeys and people do get too focused on the rewards, especially gacha players. And if they're going to be focused on the rewards anyways, then I would like if the rewards are co-opable because it might incentivize people to do difficulty 5 co-op more. Because I see it makes me sad how like I've only done a little bit of co-op, right? But like the little bit of co-op I've done with Jeff and with you guys and with a couple other people, is I really like difficulty 5 with co-op. It's really enjoyable. And especially at difficulty 5, and your options for clearing difficulty 5 go up through the roof when you have other people's characters and builds you can rely on, right? You're not just relying on your own high investment, right? Like, you can have 3 other people that have put their own resource all into one specific character, right? Like you could happen to have Farina, one person could happen to have you could have one person that has Escoffier and doesn't have Farina, doesn't have Skirk, doesn't have any other cryo units leveled for some reason, but they still pulled Escoffier. And then you could have Farina and none of the other units. Someone could have Skirk and have none of the other units. Someone could have Layla and none of the other units. And you could clear difficulty 5. And that's awesome, especially when you coordinate properly. And like, I can get why they didn't make it difficulty 5 co-opable, because they want to have incentives for people to like invest into single player and whatever. But I'm of the opinion that the incentive should just be the fun of it and the challenge, right? Like, maybe they could have made difficulty 5 co-op reward be the feather, but then like there's a single player co-op, a separate single player difficulty 5 reward of like just the Mora, or maybe 2 Primo Gems. Just, I don't know, that would be funny. No, they shouldn't do that because they know people will just. I don't know. It's just funny. Like as soon as they add rewards, like there's no way to make people happy for reward structure, right? Like if it was co-opable, people would just be complaining about artifact rerollers not being that good of a reward or something. So I don't know. But I wish it was co-opable so that more people like had an incentivization to do co-op. And maybe like people could appreciate the fun of the co-op in this mode, and maybe it would be more pushed to try to do coordinated co-op, which is where the real fun in it, I think is at for Stage and Onslaught co-op. Yada yada. There's a whole lot of yapping. Right. We'll save that. That's probably why I had problems last time. Do. Alright, this. And now I will use Skirt this time. Like, that is the fastest I can get through that shield. Compared to the other, like, oh, Mualani's a best in slot teammate. Mona C4 is a best in slot teammate. Who else? Brant. Right, there you go. Yeah, like the whatever. The Yelan is a best in slot teammate. Shenhe is a best in slot teammate. Charlotte is the best for this chamber. I strongly feel Charlotte is the best lost in slot for this chamber because it far more consistently trivializes the shield, the stall mechanics, right? Like, I strongly feel. Oh yeah, Chongyun burst not terribly. That's true. That's true. Chongyun, I haven't messed with Chongyun enough. I guess with this, I felt almost a similar thing with Rosaria because Rosaria is like 6-second skill cooldown, and you know it was helping a lot. But now that I've used Charlotte, I strongly feel Charlotte is the best option. HP is less than 50%. Attack plus 60. That won't do anything. Blah, blah, blah. Let's see if I can one rotate. I didn't mean here, to be fair. Sorry, I want to see if I can one rotate the second chamber boss. I should be able to, I think. Probably gonna screw it up somehow. Charlotte can ult TDDS? Yes. Gotta meet her energy needs, but it's like, I don't know. Like, to be clear, I originally disregarded Charlotte because I thought her energy needs would be too high. You know, Zajef and others are like, you know, Charlotte is like a consideration, but like, let's be real. Are you really going to be able to build enough energy to do Thrilling Tales of Dragon Slayer Charlotte with Skirk? The answer is it's not actually that bad. I feel like collectively, all the known theory crafters just were like, we're so used to Charlotte TDDS not being a real thing because her energy needs are just too high. But like they're actually not that bad with C4 at least. They're actually not that bad. Like it's very doable. To get like a 200 ER build, you funnel a Escoffier into Charlotte, and I've been playing her. I've been doing this team with just one Fav on the team, right? Without having a Escoffier on Fav, that would reduce things even more. Anyways, like Charlotte's energy needs are low enough with C4 that I'm pretty confident a non-C4 Charlotte should be pretty usable too. So anyways, like I think people are disregarding Charlotte a little bit too much. At least particularly for the context of this boss. We'll see how that goes into the future. That a little late. Why'd I do that? Whatever. Wow. I bungled. I failed. I don't know why I failed. Well, I know why. No, I know why I failed. It's fine. Anyways. That's why high investment isn't freaking necessary. like, what's my cons on the team? I have nothing but there is Skirk's signature weapon there, to be clear. That makes a difference, obviously. And then I do have Frina C2 technically, but C2 Frina's not doing that much there. It's mostly just a minor personal damage increase for the team, and like I'd be like, oh, but C2 Frina is Omega OP. Is 50% more damage. That's for Farina. Farina is doing what is Farina doing? I think Farina is doing like what? 10k DPS in these teams. Usually. Less? Is it even that high? So, like... Anyways, for the context of Abyss, Frina C2 damage increase doesn't freaking matter. It really doesn't. C1 Frina, it can matter. Like, I can definitely tell you, like... You know, the fact, like, I should have been able to kill that in one rotation there. If I didn't have Farina C1 and Skirk's signature weapon, I probably would not have been able to clear in one rotation. Although I think I have seen people with C0, R0 characters clear with that in one rotation. But anyways, Millilith Farina, definitely Millilith. Unless you're doing something really stupid like no artifact Skirk, then maybe I don't know. I didn't want to do Golden Troop Farina in the video because I didn't want to. I didn't want to have to spec into Farina's damage because that feels like actually relying on the constellation too much. To be clear, I've done the numbers before. With Farina C2 buff like fully up, which it should be in this team. My Millilith build, which is not that incredible of a Millilith build, performs about the same for her personal damage as she gets if I had put her on my really good Golden Troop build if she was C0, right? Like, so I have a Golden Troop build that's like 85 crit rate, 170 crit damage. And this isn't me trying to flex. I'm just giving this as a baseline to understand. Like, I have a build that has 40% more crit damage, but on Golden Troop with like about the same ER. I think it's technically very slightly less ER. And I think it has more HP actually too. And the point is like that build with the C0 Farina performs similar to what this Farina build performs like on my Cope Tenacity build. Like, yeah, C2 Farina is a meaningful damage increase, but I'm not exactly, but my point with that is I'm not exactly taking advantage of C2 Farina as much as I could be by not having a min-max build on her, right? So, anywho's. Millilith Farina is definitely my preference. Let's finish my farming at least before I have to go, because I have to go in 23 minutes. Rip Layla, Farina needs to borrow your set. I mean, I still have Tenacity artifacts for Layla, I think. Let's double check. Does Tenacity work on Charlotte too? I think it might. I'm not sure. Got that. To be clear, do I need that on her? No, but you know, I mean, I might need this on her actually. I got plenty of flowers here. I got that. Why are you on that right now? But I mean, I can give her that if I want to min-max her damage. I got that. I might need another ER time piece, I guess. I got that too. I got two options there. Probably this one is the one I'd choose. I guess I'd want an HP goblet. It would be nice to get an HP goblet on set. I also have no HP circlet. Okay. Well, Farina hasn't stolen her pieces because I don't have the pieces. I don't have them at a baseline. Apparently I should strongbox a little bit for Tenacity. But yeah. How's your D&D campaign going? Right now we are playing a campaign, a side campaign, because we played some characters for too long, and here, let's see what I can do for my time to clear on Fearless difficulty. I've been playing too long, and we have been playing too long, so we're doing a side campaign right now. We're playing a group of lizard folk who, live in, their tribal village and whatever, and we're just like the hunting party. So we go hunt monsters to protect the village and whatever, except, we're all kind of terrible people. And my character, I forgot why we ended up doing this, but we ended up deciding that, like, on a tribal level, so like resurrection is a thing in Dungeons and Dragons, right? So the lizard folk, they have like resurrection spells, and we decided to make it so that my character had died in the past is a barbarian character. I'm playing a barbarian lizard folk, and they died in the past, and they were resurrected. But to this tribe of lizard folk, you die once, you're dead forever. So my lizard folk character is just a slave. So I do whatever the party orders me to. And so I am playing a slave lizard folk right now. That's what's happening. A slave lizard folk barbarian that will misinterpret with like 7 intelligence. This is why he dies. Yup. So the D&D campaign is going fun. We've only been doing that for a couple weeks. I stream ZZ Fufu. I should have done that today, maybe, honestly. But look, I got too distracted by the truth bomb. Shupa! How was it not? I'd yapped for so long, I'd forgotten it for a minute. How is it not Shupa? Wait for bring a skill. Shupa! That's Shupa! You can't convince me that's not Shupa. Bad. Still have no idea what the truth bomb is, that it's not Shupa. The truth bomb is that her burst line is truth bomb. The truth bomb is that it's truth bomb and not Shupa. But it is Shupa. I refuse. I hear it's truth bomb. You're wrong. There, what we learned there is that Skirk with no artifacts is twice as good with Skirk with artifacts. Because I just did it at 60. I mean, I could probably get this down. It's probably more than twice as good, to be clear. Because I can probably get this down to like 45, 50 seconds, I suspect. Probably. 45 might be a bit optimistic, but ooh. The main artifact that was cope on my, this could be a big deal. The main artifact that was cope on my Varesa was the flower. So anyways, yeah, no artifact Skirk is about half of normal Skirk ish. Check the line in. No, I'm aware. I showed it before, Claire. I showed it before. I know. It says truth bomb in here. I didn't know before. And it sounds like truth bomb here. In combat though, it sounds so much more like Shupa to me. And I'm gonna continue saying Shupa because I reject the truth bomb. I reject it. I absolutely reject it. I guess if you're not using her premium team. Is this not her premium team? I don't know. I just spent like forever just glazing Charlotte and how I think Charlotte, in the context of both Abyss and Stygian Onslaught right now, is arguably best in slot. Not like, to be clear, she's as best in slot as the other units are. But like, I don't think there's another 4-star, maybe C6 Dahlia. I don't think there's another 4-star that is arguably best in slot for the last slot in Skirk's teams. So like, I don't know. I think I am using her premium team. Anyways, what was I doing? Oh yeah, Varesa. All right, I still need to go do the farming on poems only. We need to hurry our booty up. All right. So yeah, this like it's not a bad artifact, but you know it's kind of you know, you understand. Oh, I never leveled this. First we check this. Okay, goodbye. All right, you're gonna give me attack percent, right? Right. I will feed her old flower in if this is attack percent. You missed, Mahoyo. You weren't listening. You heard. I understand this is a stream about mishearing, so I forgive you. But like you missed what I said. Okay, you missed a word. I understand. I forgive you. But. So this is a good shower artifact. Oh, I didn't talk about, so I'm sorry. I've never bought it before. I bought the extra expensive battle pass because I wanted the extra fragile resin and it gave a reroller. And I was like, I'm impatient. I want to reroll my Skirk circlet. So I did the thing you shouldn't do. Don't buy it wasn't really worth it. I'll go show what happened. It wasn't worth it. So I'm only saying this so you have a lesson for why you shouldn't do as I did. You know what? Frick it. It has a slot attack. I believe. I don't need the ER, right? Them some low rolls. Forgiven. I forgive you. All right. If only at attack percent though. All right then. That's also a cracked piece for her signature weapon, by the way, because I definitely need more crit rate stats. So anyways, not a 40 CV because the game low rolls, but it doesn't matter. That's splitting the line. Okay, sick. I think I can get rid of this now too. It's free XP. Like I don't think I have a need to keep this with having this piece now. What does my Sig weapon build look like? Now I just want a better timepiece, I think. Okay. Like, getting 200% crit damage is not the priority. But it does bother me, monkey brain. It does bother me, monkey brain. No ER? Do I need ER? I might need a little ER, that's true. Wait, I have a solution. It's a better piece anyways for this context. Look at that. 90% crit rate Varesa on signature weapon is pretty freaking good. How badly do you actually... How much ER do you actually need? She doesn't have that much ER needs, does she? But if I need more ER than this... I don't play her enough to actually know. Because, like, her relationship to energy is weird, to say the least. So, like, I know her... Or I know her Sig doesn't give energy. But that is a solvable problem for me, for sure. One, because I have pieces like that. Actually, more importantly, I have a piece like this, right? Which, holy reroll target, by the way. It's cracked regardless, but holy reroll target. And being that, actually, like, honestly, this is probably better for her, in my case, right? We could go do some Akasha leaderboard checking, I guess, maybe. I'm willing to bet that this goblet is actually, without rerolling, is better than this one. Just because, again, like, her weapon gives so much crit damage. Like, this is 68% crit damage from the passive plus the 44 crit damage. That, like, this is probably a lot better of a ratio. So, and if 20% is the healthy balance. But anyways, getting this definitely just helped my Varesa build a lot. Realistically, the only thing I could actually probably improve on her at this point is re-rolling this goblet and getting a better timepiece, right? So, cool. I'll take that. That makes me want to... Man, like, right, the Stygian Onslaught is making me want to invest in a number of specific characters that I enjoy more. Like, I'm kind of holding off because, like, maybe the next Stygian Onslaught will make me want to invest in Chaska more versus Varesa. But right now, I would rather, like, try to get Varesa to, like, 9-9 and maybe crowned eventually. Is Varesa or Skirk stronger? They have completely different team contexts, generally, unless you're weird like me. So, like, the fact that they have completely different team contexts where they're relevant in means I would say it doesn't matter. The question in gacha games of, like, is character stronger when the characters' teams are completely different? And gachas are always designed where, like, different teams are different amounts of relevant against different kinds of enemies. Like, it doesn't matter. But if you want my overall vibe, I think Skirk's versatility is a little higher because I think she just is a bit more... I don't know. Like, I think she can make worse units like Charlotte much better supports compared to, like, I think Varesa wants conventionally stronger supports that you might desire to use more often for other characters, right? So, but yeah, they're also, like, literally, like, zero overlap. So, I don't know. Crowning someone you don't play often is an extra expensive act. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to commit to crowning her unless I play her regularly. I crowned Kanish. But Kanish is like a one crown thing. If I crown Varessa, I want to crown both of her talents, right? Because Varessa's damage profile is much more split into multiple talents, whereas Kanish is all into one, so it doesn't feel as bad doing that, right? So, anyways. Oh, I didn't show the Skirk artifacts that I rerolled yet. Well, whatever. So my Skirk build is better with the rerolls I did, but... and also I used an elixir. I used an elixir for a flower, which was a stupid risk, and it... I'm not gonna say it paid off, but it didn't like... I didn't get very punished for it, I will say. Like it's not really objectively an upgrade. In fact, it might technically be a downgrade on a spreadsheet level. But it was an upgrade in my heart. Yeah, I feel like you guys might be preparing yourself for seeing a mid artifact if I'm saying that. It's not a mid artifact. It's a very good artifact. The problem is that it replaced a already very good artifact, right? So anyways, it's a better artifact in my heart, and you'll understand why when you see it compared to the old one. Like, okay, I mean, my current timepiece on her is cope enough. It's cope enough that like I'll level with the 4, but like, you know, there's not actually a reality where this is an upgrade. Oh my! I can't even. Okay. Where's the bomb? Shupa! I have Stygian Onslaught boss with conditions favoring Fontaine character reruns? That's a good question. That is a good question. Like, for example, when they rerun Raiden again, are they going to have a Stygian Onslaught that actually makes Raiden feel not arse? Well, to be clear, this Stygian Onslaught, Raiden feels actually kind of pretty surprisingly usable, considering the no energy start, right? Like one thing I'll tell you is I didn't have to do it, but I have minded the no energy start much less than I thought I would. Like, it's actually kind of interesting. I'm not quite to the point where I'm gonna say I like the no energy start, but I don't hate it. I just don't like how it screws over particular teams. Or not particular teams, particular characters. But the problem is like, it doesn't really matter that it like, oh, it makes it so I can't do burst DPS Raiden against the Tulpa at difficulty 5. But why are you doing burst DPS Tulpa against the Raiden at difficulty 5? The bigger problem with the Tulpa there is not that like you have no energy star for Raiden. The bigger problem is they put the freaking cryo check in. Or a Dendro check, or with Nahida, or whatever. Like, and then you're doing Hyperblim Raiden. So, like, I don't think I can use this with... I mean, I don't mind having an option, I guess. We'll see. Why are you giving me all the freaking recipes this game? It does matter. It's basically the same as they give us a 20-second debuff at the start. Yeah, but that... Okay. Okay. Here. I just censored monkey. F you then. Monkey's paw curls. We live in the reality where we start with max energy at the start, but now we have 90 seconds to clear. And it's the same HP. It would actually be harder. It would be harder to clear this. Because a part of the reason the no energy start doesn't matter that much is... part of the reason the no energy start doesn't matter that much... I have 5 minutes, by the way. Jesus Christ, if you have too much. Is like the enemies already have stall mechanics. In particular, this one, right? Like the Tulpa is the only one I think it matters kind of, but the Tulpa directly has a mechanic giving you energy back. So does the automaton, by the way, but it doesn't happen until a little bit. Actually, no, it does happen. Like it happens initially as soon as you. So like the automaton gives you energy, the Tulpa gives you energy, but it takes longer to get to that point. And then the dragon toilet basically doesn't matter because you spend the first little bit just whacking on it with pyro anyways. And anyways, Raiden is a character that should be effed over the most by this no energy start. Because Raiden's whole kit revolves around like getting like refunding burst energy, so she helps get her own burst back when you're bursting on her. So if you don't start with a burst, and she has a 90 cost burst and she can't refund any energy to herself because she doesn't have her burst back. Like, but she feels fine. She actually feels fine against the dragon toilet. To be clear, I don't think it's like perfect. I don't think there's a great situation for her in this Stygian onslaught. But like, I don't know, right? Like it's actually not as that annoying, and I think it's kind of interesting how it changes how you think about the first rotation a little bit. So, I don't know. Anywho's. Finish my dang farming. And I think I might grow to appreciate it more and more, actually. As something unique about this game mode specifically that changes how I think about characters. And again, like, I don't really think this is a problem that, like, oh, it, like, incentivizes you to pull for 5-star weapons. It doesn't. I think it incentivizes you to have fab. Which, like, is a problem. It's going to be an annoyance. But, like, I think it incentivizes you to use fab. I think it incentivizes you to build more energy on your characters. And I have had a slight issue with the fact that they've, like, made things in the game lately that feel like they are trying to not make you care about energy, like Muika's kit, like Sturk's kit, arguably. Like, I don't like that energy recharge is a completely dead stat on Skirk and Muika, unless you play them on Emblem because you're memeing. I don't like that. But the fact that they've now added this game mode where, like, hey, you need to actually care about energy and think about energy and think about how the energy mechanics work on the enemy. And they, look, by the way, they need to do so much better of a job at actually, like, showing in-game what the enemy mechanics are, because of the fact that they, like, there is, like, no real indicator to the player how the energy mechanics, or sorry, not the energy mechanics, but there is no real indication for that, to be clear. Not a good enough one. But there's no real indication for, like, the fact that the tulpa versus the tulpa and the automaton, I think that the dragon toilet is the same, it's just more HP. But the automaton and the toilet, the automaton and the tulpa have different mechanics that completely change what kinds of teams you can actually consider using between difficulty 4 and then higher. Like, that's really stupid. And I really don't like that. That they don't show the player meaningfully that information. To make it clear that these are different enemies functionally, by how much they change teams that you can use to clear them. It's not just the DPS check that changes the teams, it's also the fact that their mechanics change. So, anyways, that's dumb. They need to display that better to player base if they're going to continue doing that. Without having to, like, seek out external resources, that is, right? The fact that, like, the Abyss, by the way, you still, like, you still, like, can't click, they have the menu, right, where you can click on the enemies, but you can't, like, click on the enemies to see, like, an information. You can do this in Stygian Onslaught, so, like, it's better than nothing in Stygian Onslaught, but it's not good enough, where you can click on the enemies and it'll, like, give you a breakdown of, like, what the enemy is and whatever, right, like, but it's just like a big wall of text that doesn't actually, like, it's a big wall of text. I'll go show you it briefly. Oops. It's a big wall of text that doesn't actually really help that much. So, alright. Return. You can click on, yeah, the I button here. There's also other screens where you can click on a different button, I think. Right, and you can see the details. So the default, it doesn't have the details, and you hit details, and it just adds more text. Like, it doesn't give you, like, the res stats. Like the fact that you can't see at the different difficulty levels, the fact that this has different resistances, with, like, the forced counter-strike mode with Night Soul and whatever. Like, it's just, hey, would you like less text or more text? And it, like, what? But anyways, this is better than Abyss, at least, because Abyss, You can't click on enemies at all. You can like, click on the cryo Sisson mages. How does the cryo? Hey chat, anyone tell me? I bet you like 10% or less of my chat can tell me how the cryo how did the cryo Sisson mages get their shield, right? Because the cryo Sisson mages in the first chamber of Abyss right now, right? They get their cryo shield. If you've been trying to clear this current Abyss, you might have been a little bit annoyed by that mechanic. Like, based on number of Sissons? Yeah, it's the Sissons. So, anyway, yeah, it's the Sissons. But, like, Genshin's auto-targeting makes it, like, absolutely awful to deal with the mechanic. Like, you basically hope you have big AoE damage. I wonder what that's shilling. Basically, hope you have, like, a big AoE damage that can wipe out the Sissons. Otherwise, they're annoying. Or you just have the ability to, like, stagger them consistently, yada yada. Like, there's plenty of strategies you can do to deal with them, to be clear. Like, but mostly there's strategies that ignore the stupid little bugs, because it's like way too annoying to try to kill them to prevent the shield from being generated. But you can theoretically at certain times maybe realize that the right decision is to try to target one of the stupid bugs flying around in order to make the shield go away. That's why your causal burst works. Yep, pretty much. And like, why can't I click on them? Like, that would be very useful, right? In the Abyss, be able to click on, for mini players, click on the opponent's page and then click on the enemy, and it gives you like this breakdown of saying like, the Sissons will cast a cryo shield whenever blah 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 blah, right? Like, and then again, obvious information like they're cryo Sissons. These things are resistant to cryo damage, right? It has this percentage of resistance to cryo damage, and people can understand then, oh, enemies having extra resistance matters, rather than the just like, oh, the resistance is greatly decreased, or it's higher resistance, right? Like, why does pressing details here say higher elemental and physical resistance? Give me the numbers. What is the point of the detail? It's so bad. It's like you've realized the problem, but you refuse to actually fix the problem. Ugh. Like, too much text, yeah. And like, when I click on the numbers, when I click on details, why does it not give me numbers? Why does it give me more text? Like, not that like, and to be clear, I think the only one that actually gives you additional information is this one, because it like expands on like the mode here. Whereas like this one, I believe, is just basically more text to describe the exact same thing. I'm not kidding. Like, cooldown effect. After taking hydro cryo damage, it will gradually return to higher res geohuman form. The difference is now it says after taking hydro cryo damage, it will gradually return to higher res initial form. The only difference is it says the cooldown effect there. Well, why? Roiling agglomeration. Affected by the ley line disturbance, the foe has its all res further increased, and the number of pyro damage instances it must take to change the form is increased. Again, same thing, same text there, but then it just segments it differently. And then this, such in geohuman form, which possesses higher elemental, physical, and all elemental physical res, versus has two forms. Its initial form possesses higher res. Why? Why? D&D is correct. Yeah, I should go. I think people might be waiting for me. Actually, wait, everyone's not there yet. I have a little bit of time to finish my yap. Anywho's, or finish my artifacts. I see you're complaining about the detailed descriptions. Yeah. I mean, to be clear, Tars is, yeah, you were the one, Tars, in our way too long call in the middle of the night. He was the one that highlighted that to me, because we were discussing together the game mode and yada yada, and overall thoughts on it and like things that could be improved. And one of the things that he mentioned was that, and I was like, yeah, you are absolutely right. Is terrible, is a mess. Why they can't like do things better than that, it blows my mind, but it's fine. It just means everything is normal, where like you have to seek out external resources or do a lot of testing yourself, because like you can't realize these things unless you can't realize like what the exact values is unless you did an insane amount of work yourself. So anyways, you need to seek out external resources, right, to be able to figure out what the frick it is. I don't think I got any of your artifacts. What the frick you do for a particular boss, like, and realize that like, yeah, certain teams that would work at difficulty 4 for the cryo automaton do not work at difficulty 6 or 5, and it's not just the DPS, right? So anyways, yeah, all the information is in game if you data mine it. True. Solutions, yay. All right, my old crit damage circlet is this one, which is pretty good. So this would be a Lost Prayer circlet, right? Okay. Well. Cool. Wait, I never finished leveling the timepiece. Cool. Double death is not exactly where it's at for me. I like this is not a piece I should throw away yet, but like let's be real. I don't know, man. The plunge set is weird. Like it has stupid niche use cases. Like oh yeah, the rerolled skirt card effects. Oh yeah, we can end with that. Not doing poems only today apparently. Sorry for the shorter. Well, hey, maybe it's a good thing. I need to do some slightly shorter streams. They're more digestible for a lot of people, I suspect. Oh, I spoiled the flower I crafted. So I re-rolled. Like this is not the priority to re-roll anymore. Will I potentially re-roll this? I know it sounds insane. Will I potentially re-roll this in the future? Yes. Why? Because I really like Skirk enough that I kind of want to perfect her. And that means like getting no bad rolls on this. The only problem is like I kind of specifically want almost exactly how this rolled, but just with an attack percent roll or an additional crit roll. Obviously, an additional crit roll would be fine instead of attack percent. But then the circlet I re-rolled. So this is a 3-line circlet. So I took a bit of a risk doing this, but I chose to use the 3 guaranteed stat thing. So I had 3 guaranteed rolls into my chosen stats, and you can see it had 1 def roll. Thanks, game. And then my 3 guaranteed rolls. My crit rate is exactly the same, and then it had an additional attack percent roll, but the attack percent rolls were like all low rolls. They were all like min rolls. So I went from 11.1% attack and 7% crit rate with 60 flat def to having 2.3% more attack. Like this is a really good circlet. But compared to the previous one, it is only better by 2.3% attack. Like half of a minimum roll. Like I basically gained a flat attack roll. So like it's like wow, that felt very worthwhile. Like I really should not be using it. I think right now what I do on my skirk, I'll talk about the flower in a second, is sorry, not for my skirk. I think I should use for trying to min-max her build. I will use the rerolls. Like I think I will use when I get to the next tier of the 3 guaranteed stats again. I'll probably use it here again. Not that it's like why? Just because of the fact that it has 3 guaranteed stats if I choose attack percent crit rate. Again, that increases the chance that I get additional crit rolls in particular. But also I can potentially get higher attack percent rolls. Right? If I get like a 15% attack, which is possible, if I get a 15% attack and 7% crit rate, that's a lot better, right? So I think I'll wait until the next like 3 guaranteed one to use it here, and then I think I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna think I should be choosing to reroll some other pieces. In particular, I think I should choose to reroll this goblet as well as this goblet. Right, this is a 4-line electro goblet on set that a reroller will guarantee it rolls better at minimum, right? And obviously it could roll a lot better. But by the way, these flat attack rolls were all like min rolls. This 60 flat attack looks like it's 3 rolls of flat attack, but it's actually 4 rolls of flat attack. Anyways, and then obviously mentioned this one before too. Could similarly be a lot better, but this one is actually already really good. Like don't undervalue that attack percent. It goes hard. But anywho's, yeah, you may as well rewind. But it's go rewind to the beginning of the stream, Pixel. I had my whole crash out at the beginning. So, anyways, as far as min-maxing Skirk goes, I think I am full on in like hyper min-maxy territory where like I'm not gonna see meaningful difference makers for my like changes. So like right, but I'm still probably gonna do it because I don't know. At this point, I want to. This obviously can't really be improved. Obviously, I could get attack percent on it, would be the only way to improve it, but that would be a new artifact, and that's impossibly hard to get. Something that would be the 4-line attack percent and roll that well, right? This I crafted yesterday, and I crafted it because not because like this isn't good. This is my old one. This is very good. It's very good, but I wanted attack percent. I really wanted I wanted to get a 4-line with attack percent so that I had a reroll target for a flower. Is what I wanted. And the elixir did not give me a 4-line. It gave me a 3-line. It also had a, I believe this started with minimum crit damage. Or no, sorry, it started with 6.2 crit damage and 3.5 crit rate. And then it rolled HP percent. And I was like, ugh, at least it has flat attack. And then it rolled entirely into crit, and it high rolled. And I was like, oh, well, I guess you're forgiven. Like it is okay. It's an upgrade as far as crit value. I don't know if it's actually an upgrade because of the fact that signature weapon giving a bunch of crit damage should make me bias towards more crit rate. But like 2% crit rate is not a difference maker in gameplay experience to me. Like we're talking the difference between a 91% crit rate with cryo resonance build for the freeze teams. Obviously, it might make more of a difference for the non-freeze teams versus a, 89% crit rate. Oh no, right? Like it doesn't matter, and therefore, if that fine of a difference between the crit rate doesn't matter, I'd rather have the one that looks prettier and gives me slightly more attack. So, anyways, yeah, my Skirk build is full on in like super min-maxy territory where like my improvements now are re-rolling this and getting no bad stats or getting a 4-line version of this with crit rate attack percent specifically. Re-rolling this so that the flat HP goes into attack or crit, but also I still specifically kind of want heavy crit rate rolls, so that's kind of and then I could also get a better timepiece. Am I going to re-roll this? Probably not. Well, I don't know. I might consider re-rolling this at the decree level because using a decree reroll, for example, on the circlet would be maybe make sense, but the fact that like a decree roll could roll 4 times into attack percent and none into crit rate is kind of bad. And it could also low roll attack percent super hard, right? Like it could roll 18% attack theoretically. I think no. I think if all rolls went into attack percent, I think it had to be like 4. It had to be around 20% attack. But like 20% attack with 5 attack rolls is awful. Like that would not be a piece I would keep, right? Whereas if I rerolled this with the decree roll, it essentially guarantees that it's an upgrade as far as crit value. But I would really want, I think, a crit rate roll most likely. But I don't know. Anyways, this is stupid hyper min-maxy stuff that doesn't matter. That was kind of the point of the artifact video. This doesn't matter. I just like the character and I want to min-max her. And I might decide to maybe like I might feel differently 3 months from now, right? Because this is like planning for like 3 months of min-maxing. And 3 months from now I might feel completely different. So I don't know. Anywho's. How many rolls, like a stat value do I have? That's a good question at this point. There's no Skirk leaderboard, I think, right now, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to count this as a half, because flat attack is a valuable stat. Like, the best artifacts, if you're min-maxing Skirk's build, for flowers and feathers, should be crit rate, crit damage, attack percent, and flat attack. So I'm going to count it as a half. Anyways, it does contribute. Like I said, the attack percent that I gained on my freaking reroll circlet is equivalent to a flat attack roll too. So, anyways, so 6.5 lines of value there. This is a 5, 6, 7 lines. So we're at 13.5. So 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 18 plus 22. 23, 25, and 26, 27, 30 lines. 30 lines of stat value. Anyways, use the compare button. Oh. Where's the compare button? I don't know where the compare button is. Okay. Well. Oh. There you go. Oh, you mean this? Oh. Well, that's not helpful. That's not what I wanted. I wanted overall build. Anyways, when's endless? Not right now, because I'm making people wait. Sorry, I gotta go. Bye.